Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. When you put away your phone, your computer, your social media, and all the noise of the world, there is one thing left. Just one. Your mind. And when life gets hard, when you are facing depression, failure, heartbreak, loss, fear, you cannot Google your way out of it. You cannot scroll your way out of it. You cannot hide from it. You are alone with your thoughts. There are 24 hours in a day. Even if you have friends, even if you have family, even if you have a coach, a teacher, or a counselor. At the end of the day, when you lie down at night, it is just you and your mind. And your mind talks. It talks in many voices. Sometimes it says, "You can't do this." Sometimes it says, "You're not good enough." Sometimes it says, "Quit. This is too hard." If you cannot control your mind will control you. And if your mind controls you, it will pull you into fear, doubt, laziness, excuses, and weakness. So you must learn to talk back. You must tell your mind where you want to go. You must tell it how you want to live. You must tell it who you are going to become. If you don't, it's over before you even start. There was a time in my life when I didn't know how anything would work out. I didn't have a big plan. I didn't have a perfect strategy. All I knew was one thing: hard work. That's all I heard growing up. If you want something, work hard. If you want to succeed, work hard. If you want to change your life, work hard. But I didn't understand how. I would read something and not understand it. I would try to study and forget everything.
Is that really
I would
me?
try to improve and fail
be
again
stronger.
and again. I remember looking at a paragraph in a book and thinking, why can't I get this?
Is that
Why
really
can't
me?
I understand this?
I can be stronger.
Most people would close the book. Most people would say, I'm just not smart, but I made a decision. Read it again. Still didn't understand it. Read it again. Still nothing. Write it down. Still confused. Write it again. Read it out loud. Again. 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 And something happened. I got it. It wasn't magic. It wasn't talent. It was repetition. It was refusing to quit. The same thing happened when I couldn't swim well. I told myself, I can't swim. But instead of accepting that, I went back to the water. Again. 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 Each time I failed, I went back. And eventually, my mind started to change. At first, my mind said, this is too hard. But when it saw I wasn't stopping, it said, okay, he's not quitting. We better figure this out. Your mind adapts when you give it no way out. Most people say they're trying hard, but deep inside, their mind knows the truth. Your mind knows when you're lying to yourself. It knows when you say, I'm trying, but you still keep an escape door open. It knows when you say, I want this, but you're ready to quit when it gets uncomfortable. You can't trick your own brain. If you want real change, you must remove the exit. No backup plan, no comfort zone, no easy option. When I went through the hardest training of my life, I knew something. This could take a long time. My body was breaking down.
Is that really me?
I was tired. I was
I
in
can be
pain.
stronger.
I was injured. But instead of saying, this is temporary, I said, this is my new normal. That changed everything. When you say something is temporary, your mind waits for it to end. When you say something is your new normal, your mind adapts. If you wake up every day and say, this suffering is my new normal, your mind says, okay, this is how we live now, and it becomes stronger. When you go to work, you don't complain every second that you have to wear your uniform. It becomes normal. When you brush your teeth, you don't think about it. It's normal. When I decided pain was normal, my mind stopped fighting it. It started working with it. There were days I was injured. My feet hurt. My legs hurt. I was exhausted, but I told myself, this is what we do. This is who we are. And when your mind believes that this is who you are, it changes your limits. People asked me, how did you keep going when you were injured? Because in my mind, being injured was normal. Quitting was not normal. Comfort was not normal. Easy was not normal. Suffering was normal. And once suffering becomes normal, fear loses its power. But let me tell you something else. There was a time when I was overweight, working a low-paying job, making very little money, living a life with no direction, and I thought I was trying my best. That's the scary part. I thought that was my 100%. But years later, I looked back and realized I wasn't even close. Not even close. Most people think they are giving everything, but they are only giving what feels comfortable. You don't know your true limit until you go far past comfort. You don't know how strong you are until you're tested. You don't know how disciplined you are until you're tired, stressed, and still show up. Trying hard is not talking about it. Trying hard is not posting about it. Trying hard is not wishing for it. Trying hard is obsession. Trying hard is waking up and saying,
Is that really
this
me?
is who I am now.
I can be stronger.
It's not always fun. It's not always exciting. It's not always inspiring. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's lonely. That's how you know it's real. Some people hear stories like this and think, that's crazy. That's extreme. But when you understand how the brain works, you understand
really me?
something powerful.
I can be
Your
stronger.
brain wants comfort. It wants safety. It wants the easy road. That's normal. But if you always give it what it wants, you will never grow. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth feels like pressure. Growth feels like doubt. Growth feels like stress. But inside that stress is power. When you push yourself into hard situations and refuse to quit, something changes inside you. You start to feel strong. Not loud strong, not fake strong. Real strong. You start to realize, I can handle this. And once you know you can handle hard things, fear loses control. There were mornings when I woke up before sunrise. My body hurt. I was alone. No one cheering, no one watching, just me, wrapping my feet, getting ready for another hard day. I could have said, this is unfair. I could have said, I'm too injured. I could have said, I'm not as strong as the others. But instead, I said, I'm still here. And that sentence has power. I'm still here. Not perfect, not the best, not the fastest, but still here. When you focus on being broken, your mind says, we should quit. When you focus on still fighting, your mind says, we can win. Your focus changes your power. Anger is not enough. Revenge is not enough. Trying to prove people wrong is not enough. Because when things get really hard, those emotions fade. You need something deeper. You need a reason that sits in your soul. A reason that doesn't burn out. A reason that doesn't depend on others. You must ask yourself, who do I want to be? What kind of person do I respect? What kind of life will make me proud? No one can answer that for you. You have to spend time alone. No phone, no noise, no distraction. Just you and your thoughts. It's uncomfortable. But that's where you find truth. I wanted to be someone I respected. I was tired of being disappointed in myself. I was tired of looking in the mirror and not liking what I saw. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I wanted to be proud, not for social media, not for applause, for me. Many people want peace. They want calm. They want happiness. But real peace does not come first. Peace comes after war with yourself. Peace comes after discipline. Peace comes after facing your weaknesses. Peace comes after suffering with purpose. When
Does
you
that
hold
really
yourself
mean
accountable every day, it's
I can be
hard.
stronger?
It's easier to blame others. It's easier to make excuses. It's easier to say, "It's not my fault." But accountability is power. When you say, "This is on me," you take control. When you say, "I will fix this," you grow. It's painful. You won't always feel inspired. You won't always feel strong. You won't always feel ready. But if you decide, "This is who I am," you act anyway. One day, you will look back at who you used to be, and you will realize that version of you was not your limit. It was just your starting point. But only if you refuse to quit. Only if you control your mind. Only if you decide, "This is my new normal. I will suffer if I must. I will struggle if I must. I will fail and try again. I will fall and stand up. I will doubt and keep moving. Because I am not controlled by comfort. I am not controlled by fear. I am not controlled by weakness. I control my mind, and when you control your mind, you control your life." Now ask yourself, are you going to let your thoughts decide your future? Or are you going to decide who you become? The choice is yours. But remember this. Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Use it. Train it. Control it. And never give it a way out.